And welcome back to the Kyoto Driving Park, where the Miyabi circuit will be hosting the touring series for the first time ever. And welcome back to the Gran Turismo Online League. As always, I'm joined here in the booth by Rashad Metz. Rashad, how you doing today?
I'm doing really good today, Miles. I'm super excited to see how these drivers handle this new track.
Yeah, it's a short road course coming in at just around 1.22 miles. The shortest road course on the schedule other than Brands Hatch, another new track coming up next weekend after the doubleheader here tonight. So how do you think these drivers are going to handle this new track that's only about 1.2 miles?
I think it's going to be very interesting. These drivers are going to have to figure out how to drive this short yet technical racetrack here. It's a nice road course, beautiful circuit, but it's tight, narrow, and it's full of a lot of high-speed corners. So passing zones will not be of plenty, but these drivers, I'm pretty sure, are going to be able to find a way to handle that and race side by side throughout a lot of this. So I'm super excited to see how these drivers handle and take on this track today.
Yeah, it's really easy to overdrive a lot of corners. You don't want to be side by side through the S's of the chicanes, so that's going to definitely be a trouble spot for some of these drivers here today. So we're going to definitely have to keep an eye on those areas of the track. But it's going to be a fun race here today. A lot of that short track racing, like we see at Northern Isle, kind of thrown onto a road course. So that's going to be a fun one to watch. But let's waste no more time. Let's get down to the Metz painting grid walk. And speaking of Metz painting, starting on the pole for today's race of the number 24 Metz painting car of Rashad Metz. Rashad Metz had a really good pole lap here today, running that throwback scheme that he finished third last week at the SAR throwback race. So he's looking for another strong finish here today. He's currently your points leader, but he's only leading the points by 5 points ahead of Trevor Levine. So hopefully he'll be able to keep that consistency up and get another win here today.
Rolling off second, we have the '06 Mustang of Miles Johnson. He's been getting better and better each and every week so far. He's one of our he's one of our oval ringers, but he's getting better and better on these road courses throughout the season. So I feel like he's going to be somebody to watch with a great qualifying effort of second place of P2 today. So keep your eyes on Miles Johnson this race.
Rolling off P3 is Trevor Levine. Trevor Levine currently sits second place in the point standings, only 5 points behind Rashad Metz. He's looking for another strong and consistent finish here today to hopefully get that points lead from Rashad Metz. He's coming off a win last weekend at the throwback race, so he's hoping to carry that momentum into this new racetrack.
Rolling off P4, we have Javen Tucker and that beautiful scheme, that Coca-Cola Auntie Anne's Reese's scheme. Beautiful car. Qualified P4 today. I think he has a really fast car. He switched from the Porsche to the Peugeot. So I feel like, let's see, this is one of these cars he's been driving for a really long time. So I feel like he's got a good handle on it. So I expect to see him battling in the front of the pack, even though he's got a not-so-good qualifying result.
And rolling off P last is Miles Turner, the number 74 car. Miles Turner has shown a lot of improvement lately, a lot of online races outside of the league. He's shown a lot of improvement and picked up some wins. He picked up his first win in the weekly series this last weekend at Blue Moon Bay Speedway, where the Miles has swept the weekend. Miles Turner won the first one of the night, and Miles Johnson won the second one of the night. So Miles Turner in the 74 car is looking to ride that momentum, hopefully get another good finish here today, and he's got a fast car to back it up. And that's it for your Metz painting grid walk. Let's waste no time getting down to it. 30 minutes around this 1.2 mile racetrack, 7 turns for these drivers to negotiate, and it's going to be plenty action filled as we get down to the nitty gritty with only 3 races remaining on this season. And the lights are out. We're green flag racing at Miyabi.
Beautiful start by Rashad Metz so far, getting a couple car links into the lead right there. Trevor Levine trying to work that outside lane around Miles Johnson for second place. He's going to be able to do it.
So you're going to see a little crossover move. No, he got it to the outside there.
See this right here. This is one of those trouble spots. You don't want to be side by side, but you can if you can navigate it properly. Miles Johnson just backs out of it. Both drivers go wide on the corner.
Here comes Javen Tucker. He started last place. Or second to last, my bad. But he's already up in the top 3.
All these drivers are going to be trying to extract all the bit of speed they can throughout this racetrack to gain time on the leader. I see Rashad Metz has pulled a nice, comfortable lead so far in the race.
His driver's racing really hard behind him. Miles Johnson that started second place is already dropped back to last spot, so not a good start for him. So we're side by side for second place.
Neither of these drivers are wanting to give. We've been seeing in the races coming up, leading up to this week, we've been seeing a lot more aggression in these drivers as the points starting to get tighter and the opportunities to gain points are starting to get lower and lower. These drivers are starting to be a lot more aggressive with their moves. They're starting to try to keep every bit of position that they can so they can gain as many points as they can in order to stay in the hunt and the fight for the championship. So right now we have as of right now, as the point stand, we have a 3-car battle for the championship lead. Not for a championship lead, for the championship. We have Rashad Metz currently leading the race in second place, down only 5 points is Trevor Levine, and in third in the point standings is Miles Johnson. So these drivers are looking to gain some points on the leader Rashad, if not overtake him. So it's a lot on the line this race.
Yeah, this new track just throws a huge curveball at these drivers, having to learn a new racetrack, a different style of racing here. Never seen anything like this in the league before, so it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers adapt and go out there to try to perform their best.
This is a very interesting and technical track. This is, Miles. I feel like this is with the
here comes Tucker to the inside.
Tucker's trying to go for the pass. If Rashad can be able to hold him off on the outside. Looks like he was trying to set up a cutback.
Beautiful turn by Tucker.
Now we have a lead change, but Trevor Levine has something to say about it on the back bumper of Javen Tucker.
The 3 leaders under a blanket right here. They go into that sweeping right-hander of turn 1. Nose a tail for the lead. Tucker gets a good run off. Side by side yet again.
Team shot has him cleared, but Javen's going to battle back.
Here comes Trevor Levine. He wants a piece of the action here, trying to race. Ooh, Tucker sends it way in the inside.
Still side by side.
A little contact there between the 2 leaders. Go through the chicane. Ooh, that was a close one there. You do not want to be side by side through that chicane.
It does not always work. Sometimes it takes a lot of work to make it work, but it's not something these drivers want to really give up. Because you give up, you can lose 1 or 2 spots trying to back out of the corner. And letting the driver get through clean. So, especially when you're fighting for position and points, especially how hard it is to pass due to the dirty air, these drivers are not going to want to give up track position. So, it's really going to show. Oh, as you see, a huge lunge by Rashad there to the inside.
And going to that final hairpin there before the chicane, you can get a huge run through that braking zone. You can really push that braking zone. Of course, you got to be aware of other drivers around you, but you can really push that one and brake a lot later than other drivers.
100% factual here. As you see, Rashad Metz is back into the lead. Trevor Levine is on the back bumper of Javen Tucker. I wonder if he's going to be able to make a move into the hairpin. Gets a little loose. Trevor Levine
ends up going out wide. But still going to get around.
Manages to roll the corner.
That's just an example of slow in, fast out there. Here comes Johnson into the picture.
Johnson trying to side draft him down the front straightaway, trying to nudge ahead of him, dragging the brake on entry, just trying to slide job.
With a crossover move.
You see, turn 1 is a very, very challenging place to pass. The outside line is very hard to utilize. Not everybody can be quick there. So if you see a car work on that outside lane, it's really going to show you how much speed they have and how well their car is handling. You see those 3 drivers in the front still battling really hard. Trevor Levine on the freaking bumper.
There's some great battles so far. We've already completed 9 laps in this race, and we're only a little over 5 minutes into this race. So we're going to be completing a lot of laps here today.
Yeah, it's a very short track. It's a very short track. That's really fast. So going to be going through these laps easily, like eating a bag of chips. Each and every chip is gone within just a few seconds. So as you see, Javen Tucker goes
side
to
by
the
side
lead.
Almost. Let me make some contact. Ooh.
Almost hit the inside wall there. These drivers don't want to give up the position. Rashad Metz tries to go back to the inside of Javen Tucker. Gets it done clean, but is Javen going to have something to say to him?
You really want to use the rumble strips on this track. It's so important to use them to help you turn. So if you get stuck on that outside lane about any... Ooh, Johnson goes off. Johnson's going to go around.
Big spin
hard into the wall.
Hard.
Well, let's see what happened, I guess. Through the S's.
Went wide and tapped the wall.
Yeah, that's really easy to do there.
That last part of the chicane comes up really fast, a lot faster than you expect.
Some hard contact there. But it gets it back going, fortunately, so I don't think the caution is going to come out this time.
He carried a lot of speed through there. So he's you have to be very precise with your movements as Trevor Levine's trying to find a way around Rashad Metz, but Rashad's not letting it happen. These drivers are saying that it's too hard to pass as is, but did you see Trevor Levine trying to use that outside lane to generate a run? Which might work, because
we've been trying to fight so hard here at the league. With this package, it creates a lot of dirty air. So we're trying to eliminate that dirty air, which hopefully we can do in the upcoming season on GT7. But that dirty air just seems to really, throw the cars behind the leader out wide and make it very difficult to pass.
It's very true. So as you see, these drivers are side by side going into turn one once again. See, you notice Trevor Levine gets a run, but look at him trying to use that outside lane, trying to get that clean air on his nose, and try to get that dirty air off his nose. And if he figures out how to drive that outside lane, he is going to be a force.
We're 3 wide.
3 wide, trying to go for the lead.
Not many times you get to say 3 wide on a road course. Tucker comes out on top.
Really good racing so far. These drivers are aggressive yet calm, as you see throughout this run. They're just tucking in behind each other right now, running their race, and Trevor Levine's still trying to make that outside lane work. Rashad's right now, it looks like he's trying to navigate the dirty air, trying to learn how to drive in it and how to follow close behind cars and where he can and cannot pass. But Trevor Levine wants to get some position, couldn't quite get it done.
A lot of these drivers are going to start using the bumper toward the end of this thing. I know Rashad
goes on the outside. Ooh. Can he get it done? And he does! Still side by side, not anymore. Javen puts the block on Trevor Levine. Trevor Levine has been getting blocked all race so far. Not really what he wants.
Still trying to use that high lane. Look at the run that he can get off of the high lane, though, carrying a lot of momentum out of there. See the closing.
Javen Tucker really used that inside curb to turn his car and got underneath Rashad to take the lead once again.
Yeah, that Peugeot is really fast there on the bottom lane in turn one. Can really hug. Oh, he go way out wide. But he can really hug them rumble strips there a little bit better than everyone else.
Is he going around the corner into turn one? Trevor Levine still trying to work that outside groove. Javen Tucker using that rumble strip to turn once again. Gets to the inside, side by side with Rashad. Javen is going to try to go over the crossover. Rashad cuts him off. But this is a very important braking zone. Who's going to push it the most? Rashad dives it in deep.
A little tire smoke.
Trevor Levine just can't seem to catch a break.
Johnson's back in the picture again, fighting for the top 4 spot. Turner a little bit further behind, about a straightaway, trying to gain some more time.
See, Miles Johnson is trying to reel his way back into the picture here.
They're fighting hard for the lead right now.
This race is very important for Miles. He wants to get that maiden road course win in the Touring Series, but he also wants to still be in contention for the points. He wants to get a good points finish today, so he can stay in the championship hunt, in the championship fight.
Ooh, side by side through chicane. Is this going to work?
Side by side. Oh, contact in the wall.
Metz goes around.
Saves it.
And the caution is out for the first time today. See what happens here. See, they're side by side, 2 rows there.
Didn't want to give up. Didn't want to give up any position. A little nudge.
Yeah, just a lot of contact there.
These drivers give a lot, but they don't want to.
Through the in-car camera.
turning hard. It's getting hard. Don't want to steer. Still side by side.
Side
Rashad's
by
trying to use that
side.
overshoot the turn.
Has a turn full out. Oh, yeah.
Back in, touched it, and got him loose.
Unfortunate incident there, but that chicane's really tough when you go in there side by side like that.
It really is. That can happen a lot. So maybe these drivers take this as a lesson and choose not to try to pass there anymore, or they just completely ignore it and try to really go for it this race. So I think there's a lot on line with these drivers. Rashad doesn't like having a 5-point lead ahead of Trevor Levine. He knows Trevor Levine is a threat to his championship.
Look how close Johnson threaded the needle through that. When they wreck up ahead of him in order to get the lead.
Incredible wreck of winners by Miles Johnson.
It's Johnson now your leader when the caution's coming out. Levine second. Miles Turner's third, actually.
That's a good position for Miles Turner to be in right now, up to third position. That's exactly where he wants to be able to gain some opportunities, especially on the restart, trying to gain some position. So looking forward to see what this kid can do.
You know what you're saying about Miles Johnson? All of his 11 career wins have come on ovals. Still looking for that first road course victory. He's in the position to get it done here. He just got to hang on to it. But he's got a lot of fast race cars around him. I know Mets and all of them. And to the restart line, we're back racing here at Miyabi.
Miles Johnson in the lead right now. I think his first time today getting some of that clean air on the front nose of that Ford Mustang, the 06 Mustang. So right now we're going to see what he can do out front and how that Mustang fares in that clean air. But Javen Tucker is not going to give him the time of day as he sends it up the inside.
Oh, here comes Trevor Levine out of the inside, too. We're already 18 laps in this thing. We're not even halfway through the race yet.
Really coasting behind him. Miles Johnson dragging the brake. That's his way of going through the corner. He likes to drag his brake. Let the dirty air pull him through the corner so he can get a nice run off. As you see, he's staying nice and snug to the back bumper of Javen Tucker.
Now that's a scary sight to see right there. The number 24 growing bigger and bigger in the rearview mirror each lap.
Trying to go for a run on him, but couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, they start fighting side by side behind him, man. Javen Tucker's going to love to see that.
It looks like Miles Johnson slid up a little bit out of the groove, and Rashad's going to try to take some position. This is not where we want to be side by side, so Rashad seems to back out of it.
I know Metz wants to get past Miles Johnson.
4 cars behind the leader go wide on the exit of that corner.
All side by side.
Here comes Trevor Levine trying to get on the inside of Rashad. He's going to be able to keep it there, and he does. That drops Rashad back to 4th position, the farthest he's been back this race so far. But Trevor Levine's going to try to go for 2nd place. I think he wants to lead him some laps today.
3 wide. They're bumping and banging for 2nd. Johnson switches over 3 wide again. This is not going to work through the chicane. Heavy contact. Johnson hard into the wall. Levine goes around.
Keeps it out of the pit lane.
Johnson involved as well. Massive wreck.
Caution is out.
That 3 wide was not going to work there.
Side by side does
Let's
not
see how
work
this
at
all
track,
worked. How this happened all the way back in turn 1. Metz got a huge run out of turn 1. They're side by side for 2nd. Metz wanted this position really bad. Look at him, look, almost onto the grass to get it side by side on the straightaway. Johnson gets loose, cuts back to the inside on the corner, 3 wide again. And then they're set up 3 wide through 4. And Johnson just had a terrible entry there. I mean, whenever you get stuck in there 3 wide like that, there's not much you can do to change your entry into a chicane.
See, we say side by side does not work through here, and 3 wide most certainly does not either.
Looking back, Miles Turner's scamper.
I'm starting to love to cut the grass.
Tucker's your leader as the caution's out.
Rashad Metz in second place in that Intimidator scheme. Rashad said when he drives that scheme, it's going to show that he's going to be really, really aggressive in that particular race. So, somebody got to keep your eye on. Especially everybody's going to be aggressive this race because Rashad wants to gain some more points on the second place car of Trevor Levine in the points. Trying to build that cushion for the unpredictable remaining races of the season.
Of course, next week after another race, because this is a double header here tonight. I'm not talking about that much. We have the 1 lap shootout at Nurburgring, the 18-mile circuit, 1 lap around a 170 turn racetrack. So that's going to be interesting. That's sure to shake things up. And it's going to be an inverted starting grid. So if you finish last here in the 30 minutes of Miyabi, you're going to start on the pole for the 1 lap shootout. So all the faster cars here are going to have to try to get past the slower cars here.
Indeed they do. That's going to add a different dynamic to the race because that track is so tight, so narrow, and so difficult to pass. Side by side is very difficult to do at Nurburgring. So basically, it's almost like you would want to finish last, but you can't sacrifice the points. You have to try to go for all the points that you can get and then try to make them up in the next race. I feel like that's what Miles Johnson, Rashad Metz, Trevor Levine, I feel like all drivers are just thinking like that right now. So as we come to the restart, Javen Tucker's in the lead. Miles Johnson hooked to the bumper of him already, giving him a huge push into turn 1, trying to clear him. Rashad doesn't get any help on the outside lane. Trevor Levine ducks to the inside. Rashad's out to dry. Has no choice but to fall back to 4th position. Trevor Levine goes wide.
Grass.
Carries his speed through anyway. Still side by side. Takes his spot back. Question is, when do these drivers get aggressive? When does the bumper get used? When do these drivers decide to put it all out there?
We're only halfway through this race right now. But it's probably going to start ramping up soon.
See, Javen Tucker and Miles Johnson are about to go at it. It's about to be a duel of the century right now. We'll see how these drivers are going to fight. They have a little bit of space between the cars behind them, so I feel like they're really going to go at it without the threat of somebody else intervening or third-partying their battle.
You know, a lot of these drivers, they want to build up a points cushion because a ton of these drivers, majority of them, don't want to go into Blue Moon with a point deficit. They want to have a cushion because Blue Moon is such an unpredictable race that they don't want to have to go in there and gain points at Blue Moon, because you could be first in one turn and then finish 10th on the straightaway. It's just such a chaotic race. So all these drivers are hoping that they can have a good enough cushion going into that race, but Miles Johnson is hoping that he can make it to that race to gain a bunch of points there, because he knows he can do good at that racetrack. But I know Rashad Metz and all of them, they're trying to build up a cushion.
Indeed they are. So it's very tricky to try to build up that cushion, because you want to finish ahead of the people trailing you in the points. You can't afford to lose any ground to them. And you see Rashad Metz and Miles Johnson side by side. There's some contact. Both Trevor Levine and Miles Johnson go wide, but Trevor just rips that outside lane, so it really didn't phase him too much. And they're back to Rashad's bumper once again. The thing is, Javen Tucker has gotten a lot of time.
Some more contact there. Johnson sent it way up to the inside. Ooh, a little loose moment there.
He's gaining a lot of time. Is on the people behind him, so it's going to be really interesting to see if these drivers can reel in Javen Tucker. That Peugeot today that he decided to use his car switch for is really ripping at this track. I mean, incredible pace so far. He almost got it on pole, but some issues during qualifying due to lap traffic or a crowded racetrack caused that downfall. Unintentional issues. So it really took that pole position away from him. But as you see here, he is out front leading the race, getting some good laps under his belt.
Metz is getting closer and closer every single lap. That 24 is definitely growing in that rearview mirror.
It's a nice run right there. On the curbs. Got to use those curbs to turn the cars. You see it helps that car's turn. Javen Tucker goes wide. Leaves it open for Rashad. Rashad gets through clean. I think Javen Tucker's going to come back at him. Rashad cuts off the inside just in case Javen Tucker goes for it.
Oh, a little bumper action there. He does get to the inside though.
Slide them up the track. That's the first use of bumper we've seen this race. I think that just told all the drivers it's time to take the gloves off. It's time to be aggressive. Time to go for the points. Miles Johnson goes really wide.
Only about 10
What a crossover
minutes.
move.
Only 10 minutes left in this race. So it's time to start making some moves here.
Especially since it's so difficult to pass.
But Javen Tucker's making it look easy going into turn one. He's made a pass almost every single lap. Going into that turn one, just hugging the rumble strips as closely as possible, if not using them to turn.
Rashad dipping that tire off. Trying to get that car to turn. Wants to try to get to the inside of Javen Tucker, and he does. Can he hold on to the position is the question. He does indeed.
All of them drivers dipping in that grass out that final chicane, trying to straight line it as much as possible to carry as much momentum as they can on the front straightaway.
Trevor Levine's still in the outside lane. Miles Johnson to the inside, but Trevor Levine gets that run off the outside. And clears Miles Johnson again.
Trevor Levine's really been moving around the racetrack, testing a lot of it. You see him in the grass now, but
I think he's testing that new line out there.
He's really been testing a lot of lines around the racetrack. You've seen him run the bottom, middle, and top in turn one. He's been testing where he can get a run, when he can get a run, figuring out what he can do where around other cars to see what he can do at the end of this race.
Indeed, I think a lot of these drivers are going to be trying to think about that, how they're going to close this race out. It's easy to start a race. It's hard to start a race. It's kind of easy once you settle into it to race the race, but at the end it comes down to everything. You have to put all the pieces together, all the effort during the middle of the race while racing, and also all the learning you did before the race. It all just comes down to that moment, and you have to execute with expert precision in order to win the race. Better see some contact between Trevor Levine and Rashad Metz battling side by side. Rashad trying to side draft, trying to keep Trevor Levine from clearing him off the corner. Trevor Levine's on the outside of Rashad. He's going to get a run. Couldn't quite get there, and he does.
Move.
Javen Tucker has a very fast Peugeot today, indeed. Miles Johnson trying to cut the grass a little bit, trying to pass in the grass, which we have seen work multiple times in this league. But it's starting to get competitive, starting to get real. Trevor Levine once again clears him. Clears Rashad.
Javen Tucker doing a little defensive drive in there, blocking that inside lane, knowing it's the preferred line going into turn one.
See, Rashad's strategy is to use up every bit of racetrack he can just to keep himself from losing too much momentum. You see, it kept him a lot closer to Trevor Levine on the exit. Trevor Levine goes off the racetrack. Still side by side. His car rolls the outside groove like no other car can today. Very impressive.
Gets pushed to the wall.
Wow!
Heavy contact.
Keeps it going. Thank goodness. 7 minutes, I think, are left in the race.
Johnson's actually going for second place here.
Starting to come down to the wire as we're 7 minutes to go. 35 laps completed so far this race. Being in the lead with 7 minutes to go, how do you think Javen Tucker is thinking right now after leading so many laps so far?
Well, he's seeing those drivers of Miles Johnson or Trevor Levine battle hard. He is just praying that he doesn't want to see a caution right now. You definitely do not want to see a caution come out. But he's just hoping that they keep racing like they're racing right now. As you see them side by side off the corner, because he's going to be able to gain a lot of time if they keep racing as hard as they are.
Yeah, when these cars are battling side by side, it helps that leader gain some time, but it seems like Miles Johnson backed off of the bumper of Trevor Levine, and they've been setting some pretty clean, consistent laps. A lot of good corners. So they have also, Trevor Levine has reeled in leader Javen Tucker, trying to work around his outside. He's very fast on that outside lane. As you see, he's ripping it right now, trying to get a nose in, stays side by side, uses all the curbing, clears him, and Trevor Levine takes the lead. What an incredible move around
hard
the outside.
in the wall. In the back, Johnson went hard into the wall. Oh, don't know what happened there. I think we went to the S's. I think he might have got some rumble strip and some bumper at the same time, but it's really hard to negotiate them S's that we've seen throughout the race. Still a hard battle for the lead, though.
Especially since it's go time. Rashad trying to gain every little bit of position he can. He can't let Trevor Levine beat him. He said he would rather let Javen Tucker win the race than have Trevor Levine beat him to the line.
I think Rashad Metz is more in that championship, thinking about that championship, since we only have a couple races left. He's thinking more about the points than he is about the win tonight. As long as he can finish ahead of that 95 car, he can consider it a good points day.
It's very true. It's very interesting racing so far. A lot of side-by-side action, a lot of multiple grooves being used.
Side by side the chicane again. Metz is in the wall. He goes going around.
See Trevor Levine and Rashad Metz. Rashad is still trying to gain every bit of ground he can.
Caution's going to come out.
With 3 minutes, no, 5 minutes left in the race.
5 minutes to go. This is probably your last caution of the race. I believe Javen Tucker's still your leader. So he's going to choose the inside lane here.
Leader picks the pace under caution. I think the driver's going to want a faster pace lap so they can have all the time to race, but Javen Tucker is not liking that they're wanting to speed up the caution lap to get back to racing.
Yeah, we want to get as much green flag racing here before the end of this thing as we can, since we're on a timer, versus normally our oval races where we'd have cautions would be a lap to race. But since this is a timer race, we want to try to get as much racing as we possibly can.
I don't know what Miles Turner's doing on the outside of Rashad. Not really in line. He's going to fall back in, I think. But you see those drivers choose to be on the inside lane. Trevor Levine's out there by himself. Trevor Levine has no help on the outside lane, but he can run it just as good as any driver. Actually, better than any driver on the track right now. Stays side by side with Rashad Metz.
Also nose to tail throughout the pack here. Metz trying to get around the 06 car. Johnson dives it in there deep.
Not very much racing to go here. Miles Johnson has been a difficult guy to pass. Just like his racing idol Ryan Newman, also known as a hard person to pass during the race.
Oh, he blocked him all the way down to the grass.
Look at the block by Javen Tucker, a Michael Schumacher.
That's going to cause Johnson to slip up high, and Rashad Metz now gets past.
A Michael Schumacher-esque block. Showing off some newly learned skills. You see Rashad Metz going to try to go for the move. Javen Tucker cuts off the inside groove. Rashad gets pushed a little wide, tries to cut back.
Oh, here we go. Only a couple minutes remaining. Coming down to the final laps of this thing. The intensity is definitely ramped up. Javen can't block this one, though.
Maljon trying to go to the inside. Rashad cuts him off, drags the brake a little bit to make sure he didn't push too
Oh,
wide.
Johnson pushes him way up. Definitely
way
some
up the track.
retaliation there. Guess Johnson did not like that block earlier. Pushed Tucker way out of the groove. It's going to cause him
Javen Tucker want to see.
He could lose a lot of spots.
This is exactly what Rashad wanted to see out front right now with 2 minutes to go in the race. It's around 4 laps, maybe just under 4 laps left in this race, as the person he doesn't want anywhere near him coming to the line is right behind him, actually on his inside.
Side
as you
by
see here,
side.
Trevor Levine takes the lead from him. This is not what Rashad wants to see. He's not the person he wanted to be battling so far in this race. He just wants to finish ahead of Trevor Levine.
Battle right here. These two drivers up front. Here comes Tucker with a shot to the back of the 24.
Gives him a push. He gives him a push. Tries to get to the inside. Couldn't quite get there. The bumpers are coming off. The gloves are coming off, and the bumpers are coming out. These drivers are starting to get more and more aggressive. Almost 3 wide into the corner. Miles Johnson to the inside. A lot more cautious that time. You see Javen Tucker glued to that rumble strip on the inside curb, really pulling him along, help turning the race car. As you see, they're side by side. Going through the S is not what you want to be right now. Brakes are being drug. Trevor Levine goes wide. Miles Johnson to the inside. Trying to go for the lead.
He's going to get it there. But the Rashimidator's right on his tail, coming onto the front straightaway.
Right on his bumper. Lap 45.
I think we're going to be around 2 to go here. So the next lap will most likely be your last lap. Will Johnson be able to hold on? When will Metz use the bumper? Or are we going to see it coming into the turn here? Little shot there through the S's.
Right now. All of them through the grass. All over the racing surface. Kind of gives him a light nudge, gets to the inside after some contact. Both of the drivers get loose. Rashad takes the lead. But here comes Miles Johnson trying to battle back.
Coming to the white flag. One more lap to go here.
Miles Johnson wants to try to get back around him, trying to get Rashad drags the brake a little bit, trying to avoid the bump and run maneuver. It's Miles Johnson losing some ground, lost about a car length, doesn't have some time, has some time to make up in that final braking zone as it is the final lap officially. Final corner.
The bumper to the back of the 24.
Gives him a bumper, goes way wide. Miles Johnson to the inside. This is not where you want to be right now. These drivers are not going to give any inches.
Contact! Johnson into the wall. Here comes Levine. He's getting a good run. A photo finish at the line.
Rashad wins.
Rashad Metz wins. Look at this finish, though.
Side by side.
Side by side, bumping and banging. Metz gets into the grass.
Battling for every bit of real estate, every bit of land. We've been seeing throughout this entire race, you do not want to be side by side in that final corner. And we've seen Rashad get spun countless numbers of times trying to go for the move that he's going for right now. And he actually got it done this race. This is incredible. He got it done when it needed to count. But sadly, Miles Johnson did not get through the corner as well as he would have liked. But look how close this finish was. Trevor Levine got his Lexus back from 3rd, maybe even 4th place. From 4th place, mistake by Javen Tucker diving into the corner, gets it up to 2nd place, and almost takes the win away from Rashad Metz after some contact. Side-by-side bumping and banging contact to the line with Miles Johnson.
What a finish here. Unfortunate series of events for Johnson, though. Hoping for his first road course wins. Ends up with a finish outside of the podium. And Miles Turner's going to get his first career podium on a road course. So an excellent finish by him there today. But this surely does shake things up in the points. Metz is going to grow his points lead. Trevor Levine is going to be a little bit further behind, around 10 points behind. And Johnson has lost a ton. He's going to be about 20 more points out of the lead now. So a tragic race for him after losing a lot of spots. Metz picks up his 12th career win. But we got another race coming up for you tonight after this one. a double header. The field will be inverted. It's going to be a fun one, so you don't want to miss a thing. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on the GTO League.